Alright. Okay, Proverbs 1. We'll start with a just basic read through of it. I tried to put this in the description, but this is kind of a celebration of almost having 100 subscribers. Yep, I know that's small fry with a lot of people, but for me, I never expected that. Just reading the word, making little clip videos, that would get 100 subscribers on YouTube. So, let's read Proverbs. Let's just read the chapter through. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, to know the wisdom and instruction, to perceive the word of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother, for they will be a graceful ornament on your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait to shed blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent. Without cause, let us swallow them alive like sheep, and whole, like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all kinds of precious possessions. We shall fill our house with spoil. Cast in your lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, but they lie in wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open square. She cries out in the chief concourses. At the openings of the gate in the city, she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn up my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I'll make my words known to you, because I have called and you have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no one regarded. Because you disdained all my counsel and would have none of my rebuke, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your terror comes. When your terror comes like a storm and your destruction comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then they call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me, because they hated knowledge. They did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would not have none of my counsel, and despise my every rebuke. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own, and be filled to the full of their own fancies. For turning away of the simple will slay them, and their complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely, and will be secure without fear of evil. Okay. So, let's read 1 through 7. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and increasing learning. A man of understanding will attain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and an enigma, the word of the wise and their riddles. To fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom. Okay? So, that verse, 1:7, which is, again, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction, is probably one of the most quoted but unknown of the verses of the Bible. People don't really know where it is. It's just the same, pretty much, as people that insist about the canon that Peter's crucifixion is not actually in the Bible. It is not quoted for him that he was crucified upside down. It is something that is common, that has been quoted from other extra canonical books, which doesn't necessarily make them canonical, but that means they could very much so be biblically historical, I like to say. For at the time, they were used as a spiritual means. Things have been shortened down. I mean, the book of Enoch has been condensed to a sentence in Genesis. I mean, it's incredible. So then we get to 8 through 19, and it's literally, this is basically God's warning. So it's saying, my son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. Now, this is just about how God views us. Basically, obviously he's our Heavenly Father, not our Heavenly Mother, but when we run amok, when we don't give the commandment, when we don't keep that commandment as a young person, we've already broken the 10 simple rules that God has given to us, and that happens in every young person's life. So it's something like when you get older in your 20s, you come back to your parents. It's the same thing. A lot of people come back to the Father after they've lived in the world and they realize that the world is an empty place of desolate and despair. But that's just my 2 cents. Alright, let's continue. So, the call of wisdom. Wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open square. She cries out in the chief concourse. At the openings of the gate in the city, she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in your scorners, and fools hate knowledge. Turn at my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no one regarded, because you disdained all my counsel and would have none of my rebuke. I will also laugh at your calamity, mock when your terror comes. When your terror comes like a storm, and destruction comes like a whirlwind, and distress, anguishes come upon you. Clear warning. Turn away from his knowledge. Fools hate knowledge. The world has a way of sucking you in, and you will say, God is not coming back today, and he's not coming back for a long time, but we really don't know that. It could be today. I mean, we look at it as a future event that's never going to happen, but for all we know, we're in Revelation 20 right now, and Satan's been released for a small time. That's the way I look at it. There's a lot to be broken apart here. I don't want to, dissect the heck out of a very important proverb, because this is, I mean, it literally gives you a understanding of what wisdom is. It gives you what kind of wisdom to pertain. It gives you what the kind of wisdom the Lord disdains. And at the end, when you are sunken and you are in your foxhole and you are giving that prayer, that foxhole prayer, 28 through 33 happens. And then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me, because they hated knowledge and do not choose the fear of the Lord. They would have none of my counsel, and despised my every rebuke. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way, and be filled to full with their own fancies. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of the fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me dwells safely, and will be secure without fear of evil. To fear the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. It's all laid out there. Take 7, go to 28. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. 33. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely, and will be secure without fear of evil. But fools despise wisdom. Then we go back up to 32. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. despised wisdom and instruction. They did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would not have none of my counsel. They would have none of it. They would rather have none of it. All they want is for God to answer when they are in distress. Once they are in distress, that is when it's time for them to pray. And honestly, it's not. I can't say that it's like I've not been there. I've been there. Boy, have I been there. But at the same time, you have to keep your faith strong 100% of the time, because faith without works is dead. And I slip. I try to make videos and I try to share the word. I really, like I've said this in my other videos. I'll end with this little live. I'll end. It's only been 11 minutes, but basically, like, I want to create a nationwide network of ministry. It only takes 3. Matthew 18:20. It only takes 3. So I'll read some more verses, but I won't go on. But I want to create a network where if someone from Cincinnati needs to get into treatment, he needs it today. He doesn't have insurance, or he has Medicaid. He can only go to Ohio, but then we don't have any beds in Cincinnati. We got a bed for him in Columbus to detox at. Things like that. Give back to the community that I struggled in for so long, that God pulled me out of. We'll read Psalm 45 and 46. My heart is overflowing with a good theme. I recite my composition concerning the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. You are fairer than the sons of men. Grace is poured upon your lips. Therefore God has blessed you forever. Gird your sword upon your thigh, O mighty one, with glory in your majesty ride prosperously, because of the truth, humility, and righteousness. In your right hand shall teach you awesome things. Your arrows are sharp in the hearts of the king's enemies. The people fall under you. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with oil of gladness more than your companions. All your garments are scented with myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of ivory palaces by which they have made you glad. King's daughters are among your honorable women. At your right hand stands the queen in gold from Ophir. Listen, O daughter, consider and incline your ear. Forget your own people also and your father's house. See, the king greatly desire your beauty, because he is your Lord. Worship him. And the daughter of Tyre will come with a gift. The rich among the people will seek your favor. The royal daughter is all glorious within the palace. Her clothing is woven with gold. She shall be brought to the king in robes of many colors. The virgins, her companions who follow her, shall be brought to you. With gladness and rejoicing they shall be brought. They shall enter the king's palace. Instead of your fathers shall be your sons, whom you shall make princes in all the earth. I will make your name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore the people shall praise you forever and ever. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, even though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. Shelah. There is a river whose streams shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is the midst of her. She shall be moved. God shall help her just as the break of dawn. The nations raised, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come behold the works of the Lord, who has made desolations in the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in two. He burns the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. I'll be doing another live tonight, at least another video. Like I said, 100 subscribers. It is a very small audience, but 100 people hearing the gospel, hearing the word, I think it's pretty awesome. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later.